In the last 2 years, we have realized that there is no challenger to the democracy. However, the democracy faces some challenges. A challenge is a difficulty that carries within it an opportunity for progress. Once we overcome a challenge, we go up to a higher level than before. The next challenge is the challenge of expansion. This involves applying the basic principle of democratic government across all the regions, different social groups, and various institutions. While looking at the map, we noticed that about one-fourth of the countries have a non-democratic government. The challenges for democracy in these parts of the world are very stark. Such countries face foundational challenge, which involves bringing down the military control and establishing peace and sovereignty. The third challenge is deepening of democracy. This challenge faces different expectations from democracy in different societies. This requires an attempt to bring down the control and influence of the rich and powerful people in making governmental decisions. Each of these challenges is linked to the possibility of reforms. While devising ways and means for political reforms in India, we need to keep broad guidelines in mind. Carefully devised changes in law can help to discourage wrong political practices and encourage good ones. But legal constitutional changes by themselves cannot overcome challenges to democracy. Democratic reforms are to be carried out mainly by political activists, parties, movements, and politically conscious citizens. Laws that give political actors incentives to do good things and empower people to carry out democratic reform have more chances of working. The Right to Information Act is a good example of such law that empowers transparency in government and helps to control corruption, supplements the existing laws that banned corruption and imposed strict penalties. The most important concern of political reform should be to increase and improve quality of political participation by ordinary citizens. Any proposal for political reforms should not only aim for a good solution, but also on the way it should be implemented. Measures that rely on democratic movements, citizens' organizations, and the media are likely to succeed than passing legislations that go against the interest of all the political parties and MPs. We have gradually toured and learned the importance of democracy. We looked at many cases and expanded the definition slightly to add more qualifications, such as the rulers elected by the people must take all the major decisions. Elections must offer a choice and fair opportunity to the people to change the current rulers. The choice and opportunity should be available to all the people on equal basis. And the exercise of this choice must lead to a government limited by basic rules of the Constitution and citizens' rights. In operational terms, however, we deliberately started with a minimalist but clear definition of democracy. Can you recall what we discussed? We discussed democratic rights at length and noted that these rights are not limited to the right to vote, stand in elections and form political organizations, but also to social and economic rights that a democracy should offer to its citizens. We have taken up power sharing as the spirit of democracy and discussed how power sharing between governments and social groups is necessary in a democracy. We saw how democracy cannot be the brute rule of majority and how a respect for minority voice is necessary for democracy. We also have discussed about eliminating discrimination based on caste, religion, and gender is important in a democracy. Finally, we concluded by discussing about some outcomes that one can expect from a democracy. There is no fixed definition of good democracy. A good democracy is what we think it is and what we wish to make it.